Jeremy Clarkson went viral after replying to Good Morning Britain meteorologist Laura Tobin's upbeat storm post with a cutting line: "So to solve global warming, it's best if we all freeze." Excellent. His jab struck a nerve because it highlighted the gap between record wind power headlines and the real-life misery of floods, damage and high bills. Clarkson has never been great at pretending everything's fine when the countryside is getting battered, and this week he proved it again with one perfectly barbed line. After Good Morning Britain meteorologist Laura Tobin tried to put a positive spin on January's brutal storms, Clarkson did what Clarkson does best: he punctured the mood with sarcasm, and a huge chunk of the internet immediately nodded along. Laura Tobin, 44, reposted an ITV weather report highlighting an upside to the chaos. Wind turbines generated a record 10.6 terawatt-hours of electricity in January 2026. The report said the milestone was driven by three storms, Clarkson, Ingrid, and Chandra, and that the surge in wind power cut gas costs £164 million. Tobin added her own upbeat caption: "Some good news from the recent windy weather." Clarkson, who has repeatedly shown how weather can make or break life at Diddley Squat, was having none of it. Replying directly to Tobin, Jeremy Clarkson wrote: "So to solve global warming, it's best if we all freeze." Excellent. It was classic Clarkson, a single sentence that turns a tidy infographic into a human reality check. January's storms were not just a bit breezy. Storm Garretty reportedly produced gusts up to 123 miles per hour in Cornwall, and conditions were serious enough for air red warnings. Storm Chandra triggered a major incident declaration in Somerset, with flooding severe enough to cut off roads as rivers burst their banks. When people have spent weeks dealing with damage, disruption, and fear, a cheerful good news post can feel less like optimism and more like tone-deaf PR. Clarkson's line worked because it translated the disconnect into plain English. Yes, turbines spun, but people also suffered, and cold, stormy misery is not a climate strategy. The speed of the backlash to Tobin's framing tells you what nerve was hit. Fans piled into the replies, not to debate terawatt-hours, but to ask the question that always comes next: if the system saved money, why does nobody feel it? One commenter summed up the public mood: "Cut bills by, checks bill, nothing." Another wrote, "Who's it cut the cost of gas for? Because it isn't the end user, that's for certain," while a third added, "Our bills are not going down, so where's the good news in that?" That's the heart of it. People are tired of being told a crisis is secretly brilliant because it shaved costs off a spreadsheet somewhere. If savings don't land in households, then good news reads like a corporate victory lap. Why Clarkson keeps winning these culture war weather moments. Clarkson's advantage is that he's not speaking as a studio pundit. He's a working landowner who constantly shows the knock-on effects of weather on farming, planning, and day-to-day survival. Even when you disagree with him, you understand where the grumpiness comes from. And it's part of a pattern. He recently snapped back at a critic during a separate farming debate, telling them, "Oh dear, you don't seem to have grasp of reality." He's positioning himself as the bloke calling out comfortable narratives, whether the topic is farming policy or good news storms. Wind power hitting records is genuinely interesting, and it matters. But when storms bring red warnings, flooding, and chaos, the messaging has to match the moment. Clarkson's swipe went viral because it voiced what a lot of viewers were already thinking: if the public is freezing, flooded, and still paying through the nose, then maybe don't lead with celebration. Clarkson didn't just roast a weather post, he exposed the growing gap between headline statistics and how Britain actually feels right now.